We should become Twitch streamers.
Yeah, that's true. Or OnlyFans streamers.
I think that would make a lot of money.
Actually, I think usually you will do both. I think that the Twitch is how you generate traffic to OnlyFans, which is where you're making your money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Start licking my microphone stand.
Howdy, it's Wednesday, November 29th, 2023, and this is episode 216 of Due for a Win, the Atlantic City podcast. I'm Kyle Eskin, joined, as always, by Craig Stone. What's good, Craig?
I have heat.
Oh, that is good.
Big improvement over last time.
I had heat until about 5 minutes ago when I turned it off, because I always do that before the podcast starts, so...
Well, I have brand new units, so we'll see how whisper quiet they are if they kick on in the middle of this episode.
Yeah, and then I have to try to remember to turn it back on afterwards, which doesn't always happen, much to my wife's chagrin.
I mean, it's about 30 degrees here today, so I would definitely remember.
It's very cold. Well, congratulations on getting heat.
Thanks.
Happy that you have more heat and a lot less money.
A lot less money. It's not great. But what will warm us up is talking about Atlantic City.
Indeed, as always.
And specifically about Hooters.
Yeah.
Nothing warms you up like Hooters.
So, we'll get to the trip report, but I was talking to Taylor at some point on the trip, and he said the only Hooters he's ever been to was with me and you at the Tropicana. And I was like, how's that possible? I mean, I've been to Hooters like 1,000 times in my life, but perhaps that says more about me than it does about people who have not had that experience.
I've definitely been to a lot of Hooters.
I haven't been to a lot of different ones, but I've been to the one in Rockville a lot.
I've been to a lot of different ones because of hockey in college.
Mm-hmm.
We would end up going to some podunk town in Pennsylvania for a weekend, and there would always be a Hooters.
Yeah.
So we'd end up at Hooters there.
I know I've heard a story about you going multiple times to the one in Laurel when you were, in a hotel in Laurel.
Yeah, for a hockey tournament. Yeah, I think I went twice that weekend. But people right now are wondering why we're talking about Hooters.
I think it makes sense. So the reason I went is because back when I watched UFC, in like UFC 60 days, when it was like very not big, it was like the only place you could watch UFC fights unless you wanted to just buy it yourself on pay-per-view. So it's very different now since it's like 1,000 times bigger than back then.
Hooters and UFC, a match made in heaven.
It truly was.
So the reason we're talking about Hooters is because the always once never category that I came up with for today is sort of very, very low end, I'll call them, chain restaurants inside casinos in Atlantic City.
Mm-hmm.
And the three that I have are Hooters at Tropicana,
mm-hmm.
Johnny Rockets at Bally's, and Wahlburgers at Ocean.
Okay.
And when I made this category, I was thinking Wahlburgers is like way smaller than either of these two. It doesn't really fit. I really need a different third one. And I did some research to try to find a different third one and didn't come up with any that are as satisfying. But it turns out that there are now more Wahlburgers in the United States than there are Johnny Rockets. I thought was very surprising.
That is hard to believe. I guess when I think about it, all of the Johnny Rockets that I used to know of have pretty much all gone out of business. So.
Yes. Johnny Rockets very much on the decline. Wahlburgers, by virtue of high-V grocery stores in the Midwest, all used to have Hy-Vee cafes, and they've all been converted to Wahlburgers or in the process of being converted to Wahlburgers. So that's like massive growth for them. But yes, Wahlburgers very much on the rise. Lots of them in casinos, airports, malls.
Mm-hmm.
There are, though, 8 Johnny Rockets locations with a Las Vegas Boulevard or South Las Vegas Boulevard address. Seems like a lot.
Yeah.
There used to be 2 Johnny Rockets in Atlantic City.
Oh, did there? I didn't even know that. I only know of the one that still exists.
Yeah, the one in Bally's and what is now Bricker's Burgers at Showboat used to be a Johnny Rockets. And still has the like neon from the Johnny Rockets,
mm-hmm.
of course, because that's the way Showboat runs things.
I mean, I wouldn't know because I only ever go to Earl Sandwich there.
So of these 3, Hooters at Tropicana, Johnny Rockets at Bally's, and Wahlburgers at Ocean, how many of them have you been to?
2.
You have not been to the Wahlburgers.
I've never been to a Wahlburgers. Any Wahlburgers.
I think I've had a burger at the Wahlburgers. I can't remember. I've definitely had a shake
mm-hmm.
on the way to the room one night. But for some reason, I think I also got a burger one time. But maybe I'm conflating them with Bill's. It's supposed to be good.
Yeah, my guess is, having never been there, that it's probably what most people would consider of a higher quality than the other 2 choices. But I've never been, so I don't really know.
I have to say, There was a Johnny Rockets in Hoboken. It's still there, but I moved, so it might as well not still be there.
Mm-hmm.
And I went a couple times, and I was very surprised at how good the burger was both times. Like, it's a pretty solid burger.
So I famously went one night with my buddy Zach,
Yes.
where the 70-year-old woman was like, "You need to meet me after my shift at the Blue Martini," and I was like, "No, I'm not doing that."
To be fair, she was probably about 38.
Yeah, that's true, and had just done a lot of meth in her life.
Yeah, lived a
It is
very
possible.
hard life.
Yeah. I don't remember it being very good, but it could really just be the waitress that just dominates my thoughts, and I've just completely forgotten about the amazing meal I had there.
One thing I'll say as we get into Always Once Never about these three things is Johnny Rockets has the takeout window where you can just get a shake or something. So that really plays into my always thinking, but I mean, they're all on the boardwalk, so we don't have the same location concerns. I mean, last episode I said I was going to Izakaya always, which means every single trip I'm shuttling out to Borgata.
There's going to be more about that discussion later, but go ahead.
So I don't know. What do you think about Always Once Never for these three?
So I think I'm in the vast minority of people that I unironically think that Hooters is good.
Oh my goodness. The food.
Yeah, the food.
It's not good. I want to be an apologist.
No. The food is like generic fried food, what you would expect at that sort of place. And I think the wings are good.
Yeah,
and,
the wings are fine.
I've been to, and that's what's important. Like I said, I've been to Hooters many, many, many times. And I think the food is above average for what you would expect from a place like that. I was going to say fine, but that would be short-selling it a little bit.
Short-selling it?
I would be like, if people wanted to go to Hooters, even without, the waitresses or whatever, I would be like, yeah, unironically, all right, yeah, let's do it.
We should go next time we go to AC. Go to
absolutely. Yeah. So for me, that would probably be my always. Wahlburgers, I've never been, but I'll go once. That sounds reasonable. And Johnny Rockets can go directly into the ocean.
Yeah, as much as I just defended Johnny Rockets, I'm still putting into the ocean because I don't think it adds a ton. And that location especially just seems not great. Like, every time I look in there, I'm like, that doesn't look the cleanest.
It never does.
And I've been to other Johnny Rockets, and I'll say the Wahlburgers, the location's pretty nice. It's like a decent bar seating area. Like, the Johnny Rockets is 100% a place that you're either getting something from the carryout window, or you're like, I need to get in and get out and scarf down some burgers and fries and milkshake in about 15 minutes and then leave. I'm also putting Johnny Rockets into the ocean. Did you say always Hooters?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, how can I say always for something I've never been to?
That's true.
I think going once would be totally acceptable. I did say always Hooters. I mean, like I said, I have no negative connotations with Hooters at all. So,
can I say always, including just grabbing a milkshake to go? Does that count?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah,
so I'm going to go always for Wahlburgers because I think it's just easier to grab a burger or sit there at the bar and have a burger and a beer or grab a milkshake to go.
But you can have a burger and a beer at the bar at Hooters.
But it's not going to be as good a burger, I don't think. And I just don't think I can be the type of person who goes to Hooters every single trip. I don't think I can be like, this is something I have to check off the list every single time I go. I have to go to the Hooters at the marketplace in Tropicana. That just doesn't sound good to me. Not to judge you or anything, but
I'm sorry to hear that. But
I would definitely go next time. And I do have to say, when I'm down in the marketplace playing video poker down there, if they ever put those video poker machines back, I am looking at the Hooters I could go sit at Hooters for a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I probably went to Hooters 15 times in 2006 or something like that, 2005.
I think that's the last Hooters I've been to was the one at Tropicana, but I think it's been a very long time. I think
wow, so you really haven't been in forever.
7 or 8 years, yeah.
Wow, man.
I frequently drive past a closed Hooters in Wayne, New Jersey, which has replaced Clark, New Jersey as the podcast sponsor.
Honestly, I don't know if I've been to Hooters since then either, which says, it's a very negative mark against myself, I think.
I have a friend who used to go to the Hooters in Manhattan, right off of Columbus Circle. I don't know if that's still there, for every Monday Night Football. And it's of all the bars in Manhattan, you go to Hooters for Monday Night Football.
Yeah, you got to.
But
I always enjoyed my Hooters experience. So
I'm just going to leave that one alone.
Yeah.
That you always enjoy your Hooters experience.
Yeah.
So we're going to switch the order. We're going to do data first.
Data first.
I think that's the way to do it.
I guess that's what we could do. Let me pull up the spreadsheet, which I updated. I updated it. I did work. Just want to make sure everyone knows that.
Make sure you get your credit. Like teacher.
Yes. In terms of like how things are overall in the month of October, the revenue was up a little bit more than 3% year over year. I'd say that's, I don't know, approximately about what you would expect. I did not check the number of weekends, but yeah, it's basically a 4-weekend month. So it's pretty much like with 22. So up 3% is all right. The really big outliers are Ocean had a really, really like the most obscene luck month I've ever seen in terms of table games and is up 53% year over year.
Do you think that they had just like one high roller come in and get massively wiped out?
It's definitely possible. I know in early episodes we reported on a story about a guy who like really like wiped Trop out and like nearly put them out of business, like some high roller, but I don't think we were tracking revenue back then. So I haven't seen like the numbers like that, but their number was insane in terms of their luck. And also having absolutely insane luck was Caesars, who is down 18%, and they had probably the worst luck month I've ever seen in terms of table games. So
interesting. They
probably got wiped out by high roller, but Ocean wiped out some high roller. Who knows? But big news. We have our bet resolved because the order was not Borgata Hard Rock Ocean for the first time since we made this bet like probably a full year ago in October or November of last year.
Yeah, I think it was December. I think it was in episode 190 that we made this bet.
Yep. Borgata was the number one casino in Atlantic City, $57 million. But Ocean was, with their insane luck month, number 2, $43 million. And Hard Rock made $41 million to come in third. So that bet has resolved as a no.
You get $5.
Yeah, $5 for me.
There are a bunch of bets that are through the end of 2023. So we'll have to revisit them. Try to remember in January to revisit those. Some are pretty clearly going to go one way or the other. But it's interesting that for this bet, I was thinking when you said that the order changed that it would be because Hard Rock had some insane month and Borgata was hampered by the hack.
You weren't expecting up 53% Ocean month
for Ocean. It's going to make their month over month next month very funny.
It's going to look real bad, next month, I think. Because what they did was not sustainable.
So right now, including that, our ledger for bets, which is going to change drastically in about 4 weeks, is that you owe me $3.
Oh, is that how it is?
And this is over the course of the entire podcast, I believe, because we've never settled any of these.
Oh, we settled some, didn't we? Or at least like wiped out equal
They just
ones?
wiped each other out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I still owe you a meal at the Hard Rock.
5 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, 5 years because they just celebrated their 5-year anniversary. Oh, boy. Someday.
And I demand to get a Ballon d'Or and we'll have a temper tantrum. Get it while we're there.
That'd be great. I ordered the kids' meal. I think it actually specifically says that you need to be 12 or under or something like that.
God damn it. So you'll have to order it for me then.
Yeah, I'll shave it, then I'll order it for you. I'll put on like a little beanie with a...
like a helicopter.
Yeah, with a helicopter thingy on the top. Like some weird Martin Short sketch.
Yeah. The Steve Buscemi meme, like hello fellow children or whatever.
Yeah. So anything else about...
No, and I don't have anything to say about the Q3 profit numbers came out. I think they were marginally down, but I don't care about quarterly profit numbers. Usually we'll look at that once a year at the end of the year. But if you have something to say about it.
I know there's been some doom and gloom about it. Like, oh, it's so bad. And like profit numbers, that's the real metric. But we don't believe in that.
No, I don't believe in that.
Lots of things can mess with profit.
Yep.
Specifically...
Oh, right. Specifically when a casino catches on fire.
Great segue.
Yeah, I know. One of the best. So resorts caught on fire on Wednesday, the 15th of November. Specifically, it was like the boardwalk maybe right in front of resorts caught on fire.
Yeah, I think it's a little misleading to say that resorts itself caught on fire.
No, yeah. It was the boardwalk caught on fire. I heard, people were suspecting there was maybe some sort of foul play from some, people who possibly live or spend a lot of time under the boardwalk. I don't know what's actually come out about that. But yeah, if you looked at the videos, they were pretty... I mean, it looked like Resorts was on fire.
It did. So. But for the most part, the damage seems to be...
cosmetic.
Yeah.
I'd say most of it. So I walked by when we were there, and I took a picture, which I sent to you, and then you put it out on the Twitter. Certainly, like, the front facade or whatever of Resorts was pretty much destroyed. A lot of the boardwalk was destroyed around there. They had it all roped off. When I was there, Eastwind and Mukashi were closed until further notice is what it said. You say here they're back open, and Landshark is still closed because I think the rumor is that the electrical running from Resorts out to the Landshark was damaged in this, so they need to redo that, I guess.
That is the rumor.
Mm-hmm.
So it looked very bad, but yeah.
It didn't look great, but yeah, the Resorts... never really closed as far as I know because it wasn't actually on fire. It was the boardwalk out in front of the Resorts. Yeah, but as of a couple days after that, it was open and everything seemed normal inside other than a couple of restaurants being closed. So
I'm not sure the casino floor was ever fully evacuated.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fully open later that night. So
that would be surprising if it wasn't evacuated when it was... I mean, it looked, while the fire was happening, it didn't look great from the videos I saw.
It did look bad.
It seemed like the sort of thing you should evacuate the casino hotel for.
Yeah, the initial reporting that I saw on it, though, is that part of the casino floor was evacuated.
Like the top part. Certainly, if you were in the sports book, I would think you would have had to, get on out of there.
Yeah, probably anything from the...
like there's like a little steps you have to go down, right? Everything in the upstairs portion, I'd assume you had to leave.
Right.
Maybe even, the center bar or whatever, like the tiki bar they have, like, kind of near the entrance.
Yeah, I would certainly think. So, That's the Resorts fire news.
Yeah.
Could have been worse, certainly.
Could have been worse. So you say that King's Pub is opened, because I walked by there as well while I was in Atlantic City, and it certainly didn't look open, which I guess it wasn't, because you said it just opened this week.
Yeah, it opened at 5 p.m. on Monday, November 27th.
Yeah, perfect time for an Atlantic City opening. That's what I say. Monday at the end of November.
Yeah, it was very delayed. I'm not sure why, but a bunch of people have asked in the Facebook comments to their post saying that they're open what the hours are, and they have not responded as far as I can tell. The Facebook page says always open, but that's as of 3 months ago.
Right.
Which was before they were even open. So I wouldn't trust that. I wouldn't show up there at 3 a.m. hoping for it to be
Bill
open.
Slovaki also says always open on the outside, and that is rarely open, it seems like.
Correct. Yeah, there were some pictures on Facebook. I didn't see much else about it. It's only been a couple days, but I think we have to go.
Like the pick? Oh, yeah, 100%. I have to go to the King's Pub.
It doesn't look that much like the pick. I mean, obviously from the outside it looks like the pick, but...
It's just a cinder block cube.
Yes.
Hard to make that not look like the pick.
But inside, yeah, it looks...
Same bar, right? Or did they...
No, I think they redid it. It looks like they made it sort of a full square, I thought, but maybe I'm totally wrong on that, and I might have to edit.
We'll check it out next time we go.
I think so.
Which,
we have to.
By the way, when is the next time we're going to go?
To be determined.
Soon? Question mark?
Hopefully in less than a month. That's my hope.
Before 2024?
I think so.
All right.
I'm optimistic. I'm giving us a 60% chance.
Like I've told you, I've blocked off it's really only one weekend that I can't go. And then, yeah, it sounds like between Christmas and New Year's is bad for both of us. So
it would be very easy for me to take a day off then because the semester's over. The question is, how much does it mess with other travel plans and stuff? Because
yeah, all right, just let me know. The sooner the better, because I would actually have to get permission as well. But like I said, I think we're free.
So on the list for next trip, both
King's Pub,
and Hooters.
Except that's going to be an amazing trip.
I will say, I right now am getting MGM Tower at Borgata comped.
Yeah, and so when does that our gold status expire that we're not going to be able to renew?
It's either January or February. I think it's February for MGM.
We got to go. Stay in the Borgata. Yeah, we got to. I'm not going to want to do that when it's, got to pay that resort fee. That's no good.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, I'm paying resort fees every time I go to Caesars, but I couldn't possibly pay a similar resort fee, an even lower resort fee at Borgata to stay at a nicer hotel. Get out of here.
No, that's not what we do.
Speaking of stays at hotels, you went to Atlantic City without me.
I did. I didn't choose to go without you. You chose. I think you declared that you just weren't interested in going. It was just going to be too much for you. And
too much for my senses.
Yeah.
So I lived vicariously
you made that
through
choice.
you. I did make that choice. I'll own it. So what'd you do? Tell me all about it.
All right, so I think last time we spoke, I had said that there was some confusion about what was going on. I believe that I had a Thursday through Saturday trip booked at Tropicana at that point. Anyway, I called Caesars and canceled my room for Thursday night because we did end up going just for one night, Friday to Saturday. This would have been the weekend of the 17th to 18th. So it was, Friday night the 17th was the one night we stayed in Trop. Both me and our buddy Dave had rooms in the Havana Tower. So anyway, what ended up happening is we ended up leaving. I left at about, 9, a little bit after 9 on Friday morning, picked up Taylor, got to his house at like 10:15. It is not really on the way to Atlantic City. Anyway, we drove up. The drive was luckily pretty uneventful, unlike the last time me and Taylor drove up together. So we got to AC at around 1:30. There was a brief detour because, as always, I had some sort of disaster. When I was like trying to park in the Noyes Arts garage, because that's where I park to charge my car because they've got EV charger there, and accidentally took the exit because I'm like, hey, look, this ramp looks like it goes towards the Noyes Arts garage, and took the ramp to the
Brigantine connector tunnel?
Yeah, the connector.
Yes!
So then I had to get off on some Bacharach Boulevard and drive through. I'm like, where is this? Where am I now? Awesome. But anyway, we got there, in the end. We got there about 1:30, parked in the Noyes Arts garage. When we walked to Caesars, and we decided that, we were hungry. So before we started playing at Caesars, we started walking down the boardwalk. We figured we were going to get bills or something, but we walked by, I don't even know how to say it, a Tex-Kick? A Tex-Cock? How would you pronounce that word?
I have no idea.
ATEXCAC? It's like Texas and Aztec put together somehow.
My guess is the X is not pronounced. I don't know. Odacock?
I have no idea.
Someone help us out.
Someone of Mexican descent can probably tell us. But anyway, it's a restaurant on the boardwalk. I ended up getting some tacos al pastor. Taylor ended up getting some sort of lengua quesadilla. We both thought it was very, very good.
Interesting, because I always walk by it and think that doesn't look very good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just is very centrally located on the boardwalk. I never hear anything about it.
It was good. I enjoyed it. It was, way cheaper than... I mean, it was way more expensive than you'd expect a Mexican restaurant like that to be, but way cheaper than, like, eating in a casino or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like, 12 or 13 bucks each maybe or something like that.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was good, so recommended. We went back to Caesars after that and played there for a few hours. I played tiles on my own for a bit. It went very badly. So I ended up meeting up with Taylor, and we played some blackjack together, and that was fine. I think we were about even. So it was a couple hours later. We ended up walking down to Trop, probably 3:30 or so, because I remember right when I got there, I went to the kiosk to try to log in to get a room, and it said my room wasn't ready yet, and I was like, whatever. And I think the line was absolutely insane to actually talk to a person, so I'm like, whatever, I'll sign up for... It'll email me when my room's ready, and I'll come back and get it done. So we ended up playing in Trop for a while. I think we played Pai Gow Poker for a little while together. Maybe we split up for a bit. At some point, maybe like an hour and a half later, I went back to the kiosk just to make sure I hadn't gotten an email. So it was like 5 at this point. It's like, oh no, your room's not ready.
At 5, wow. So
we did some more stuff. And then finally at like 6:15, I still hadn't gotten a thing. Went back to the kiosk a third time. Put in my information, put my driver's license in, and it's like, no, your room's not ready.
Jeez.
But at this point, like, the line was much more reasonable to talk to a person at the desk. And I just walked up and talked to them, and they're like, oh, yeah, we got your room. So just give me some key cards, and we went about our way. So I don't know, was it ever going to give me a room? Like, I have no idea. I don't know how that system works. I don't know if it had me, like, assigned a specific room in the system that it was waiting for, or,
Probably.
like, what was going on. But, yeah, it was, like, 6:15, 6:30, and it was still saying that I did not have a room that was available.
I hate that.
Yeah, it was awful.
Waiting around for the room, I hate it.
I mean, it was fine. We didn't need to do anything in the room or whatever. We didn't even have our backpacks. They were still in my car.
Yeah, that's true.
The Noyes Arts garage.
So did you have to, like, go back to the garage and move your car?
Yeah, we'll get to it. I felt pretty comfortable with that because, like, the EV charging is, like, right next to some dude that sits in an office right there and is, like, always looking out. So it seemed fairly secure.
How are the limits at Pai Gow and blackjack?
So at Caesars, I think the limits were, it was 25 for sure for Pai Gow, which is what it always is at Caesars as far as I can tell. And for blackjack, I think it was 15 that we were playing.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And at Trop, it was also generally 15 the whole time we were there. So anyway, I got checked in. I was at like the second to highest floor on the Havana Tower, I think. It was very nice. It was near the end of the hall. It was very, very pleasant, I think. I have no complaints whatsoever about the room.
The kiosk was trying to put you on like the bottom floor.
Yeah, the kiosk was like, this guy needs to get like the bottom floor, like looking right at a brick wall or whatever. I was looking south down towards Ventnor and Margate, but it was very pretty. Me and Taylor went back down to the casino. Our buddy Dave had still not arrived yet at this point, but at about 7:30 he texted us, and it seemed like he was getting close. So Taylor and I went to Osu and got a table and kind of ordered some food and waited for him there.
And then 9 o'clock rolled around.
No. Dave showed up like very shortly after we got there. So we put in a few things before Dave got there, and we ordered some more stuff once he arrived. But yeah, he got there when he said he was going to get there, which makes sense given that he was like 15 minutes out when we were talking to him.
So was Osu your always last episode in Always Once Never?
Yes, I do believe it was my always, right? And I followed through.
You're following through. 1 for 1, 100%. Mm-hmm. Small sample size, but I can't see any reason that would change.
I'd say all in all, we had like 6 skewers or whatever, probably like 3 apps. We had the biggest, most expensive sushi platter that they had, which was like sushi and sashimi and some stuff. We bought a separate roll on the side. We had like a carafe of like some fairly expensive sake, and the grand total for all that was like under $200.
Oh wow, that's surprising. It's pretty good.
And I think all 3 of us agreed that the food was fantastic, so we were all very happy with that. I said we would come back to our discussion last time, but I felt vindicated that I was right and you were wrong. And I think in terms of like value to price, like Osu is just much better than Izakaya or Nobu.
I need to go back to both, because I haven't been to Izakaya in a very long time.
Yeah, I went to Izakaya last with my wife a couple years ago, and that was $200, and we didn't drink. And it was 2 of us instead of 3, so...
See, I don't remember Izakaya being crazy expensive, but again...
It wasn't crazy expensive. It was just, like, normal expensive, I think. Osu, I feel like, for what it is like, reasonably inexpensive. But anyway, Osu was very good. At this point, I ended up, like, running out of Nosu. It was probably about... It was definitely right around 9:30 at this point, because, the way the Noise Arts Garage works is up to 8 hours is $8, and then over that it's $12 for the day or whatever.
God forbid you spend an extra.
I was like, I cannot spend this extra $4. My car was like, full enough to get me home or whatever. So I'm like running up to get my car back up the boardwalk and move it down to Tropicana. Unfortunately, I think I got there after 8 hours and 7 minutes or something like that. And I'm like, well, I know if you scan your card first or whatever to check out, like they'll give you a 15-minute leeway. So maybe it'll just be like a 15-minute leeway no matter what. But no, I had to pay the $12.
No.
So they scammed me for those $4.
Could have been 35, like about.
Yeah. I have to say, I do this a lot, especially in the wintertime when my car's range is much lower than it is in the summertime. But I enjoy the Noise Arts Garage. I think it's very nice. I think its price is reasonable. The charging is free there. It's nothing above the normal parking cost. So it works out well for people with EVs. On the way back to Tropicana, I went through the McDonald's drive-thru because we discovered last time we went that the inside of that McDonald's closes reasonably early, but I had a car this time so I could go through the drive-thru. Got 2 McFlurries because Dave is an idiot and was like, I don't like McFlurries.
Who doesn't like McFlurries?
But Taylor said he wanted one and I wanted one. Although Taylor put his nose up because he's like, why would you get me M&Ms? And I'm like, you didn't tell me what you wanted. I don't know. M&Ms seems like the normal thing. He's like, no. Why would anyone get M&Ms when there's Oreos? How do you come down on this discussion?
Depends on the mood I'm in.
I always get M&Ms. Always M&Ms for me. Yeah. And apparently always Oreos for Taylor.
My problem with the M&M McFlurry, and this is the most important thing we can talk about on the podcast, is you get all the M&Ms out of there and then you just have a ton of vanilla ice cream, which is fine. I like vanilla ice cream.
Huh?
But the Oreo mixes where you basically just have cookies and cream ice cream.
I see.
So I think that is where it depends on my mood. But I don't think there's a wrong answer.
Maybe I should give it another try. It's been a very long time since I've had an Oreo McFlurry. So
what I really want is like a Butterfinger McFlurry.
When we go, that'll be the third place we go. We'll go through the McDonald's drive-thru to get a McFlurry.
Yes.
Hooters, McDonald's, and Hard Rock. Right? Is that what we said? We had to go.
And King's Pub.
Oh, and King's Pub. Oh, yeah. Hard Rock is just, if I want to eat for free.
Yeah. Which you're never going to...
Yeah, no. All right.
Actually,
So anyway, I went back to Trop. I gave Taylor his McFlurry, which he, begrudgingly ate because it wasn't what he wanted. So it was like 10 at this point. I think we all three went and played some more Pai Gow Poker, I'm pretty sure.
so many table games, I can't even take it. How was Pai Gow Poker? Was it face up?
Yes, it was face up.
I think they only have face up at Trop, right?
Yes. And certainly the tiles table was as always, never open while I was there.
Shameful.
Yeah, it was face up, for sure. That went fine. I think we walked around and looked around. Maybe I played like a little bit of video poker or something, but it was not too far. It was like 11:30, I think. They were going to go play some poker.
Yes, I heard that.
And I was going to go to sleep because it was past my bedtime. So I went to bed at about 11:30. I think they stayed up for another hour and a half playing poker. I think they both did well in it because everyone was drunk and terrible at the table, which sounds right for whatever, 1-2, no limit. So anyway, next morning I woke up at about 6:30.
Too early.
I watched the F1 Vegas qualifying, lying in bed, like the replay of it or whatever on my iPad. So I went down at about 7:30 to the casino. I played a bunch of 8-5 Jacks or better down in the marketplace, which was totally fine.
The marketplace machines are back open.
Yeah, they're all open.
Does it look any different?
No, not really. I mean, they have like those big blackjack machines, like the video blackjack machines now that I avoid since I found out they were 6-5 that one time at Caesars. I mean, I don't even know if they all are, but I'm like averse to them because I've discovered they were 6-5 from that one time.
I wonder what they were even doing down there because they had the carpet entirely ripped up. So maybe
they put new carpet in. I mean, you need to do that from time to time, but certainly I will tell you my Jacks or better machine was not new because like half the buttons worked. Like I was on one machine for a while that you had to touch the screen, which is like my all-time pet peeve.
I like to be able to alternate.
Yeah. No, I don't care if I can touch the screen or not. I really want my buttons to work.
Sometimes, the buttons just aren't working and I feel like the machine needs a human touch. Mm-hmm. The screen needs like some love and then so I got to switch.
Yeah.
But yes, I generally prefer the buttons.
So anyway, I'm like down there. There's like a lot of talk of breakfast happening. And then I don't know what happened, but showering took a long time apparently in the other room. Like there were some complaints. But anyway, I think at 9 they finally came down to eat breakfast.
Seems like a totally reasonable time to me.
I don't think I've ever eaten breakfast that late in my life.
Should have eaten a pastry. Just get yourself.
I should have. I didn't. I don't think I ate anything that morning. Didn't even have anything because I don't think we stopped at a Wawa on the way down because I was driving with Taylor. So I didn't take my usual lackadaisical approach. Didn't even take Route 40 in. Took the turnpike and the expressway. Mm.
So you went to breakfast.
We went to Gilchrist.
Okay, in the Trop.
In the Trop, yep. It's very good. So it was like 9 when we went there. So we were out at like, 9:15 or whatever.
My favorite. It is ridiculous how fast you're in and out of there. Like, it's hilarious how quickly they get you out.
After that, so they had showered at this point. I had not yet. I went pretty much straight downstairs. We decided to all play craps together. Like Dave and Taylor were actually playing together, like as like pooling their money or whatever. And I played with them with my own money. I think that the rolls went okay. I ended up breaking about even. I think they lost a little bit because they weren't pressing up their 6s and 8s as much, and like there were not a lot of points made. So we did that for probably like half hour or something. So it was like 10 o'clock at this point. I went upstairs to take a shower and change and check out because checkout time was 11. They were doing something. I don't know what they were doing. They were gambling down there. I got comments from the crowd about how I was wearing the same clothes as yesterday. People were appalled, and I'm like, yeah, you don't need to shower right when I wake up. But anyway, so took care of that, took a shower, changed, checked out. Let me tell you what is a zoo. It is the Havana Tower and the Havana parking garage elevator at checkout time.
Yeah, because I stayed there 2 trips ago.
So it was like fine for me because I was on like the top floor, so I could get on an elevator. But like people on the bottom floors, like I can't. Like we stopped at every floor when we were completely full, and like people were getting pissed off.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable.
Like because I think they'd been waiting for like 10-15 minutes for like there to be an elevator with space for them to get on.
No, I'll carry my big bag up the stairs.
Yeah, they were disgruntled.
I'm not waiting for that.
So I went to the parking garage and took my stuff up and put it in there, which that line to that elevator was also insane. So I walked out, like it's the valet section right outside, and I'm like, is there stairs I can take? And he's like, no, you have to wait for the elevator.
Oh, really?
It's like, what the hell?
What? That's crazy.
So we did look for like 5 elevators to come. at least that line is like, you're going to get on, not like if you're on a low floor in the hotel and like there will just never be an elevator to pick you up.
Yes.
So anyway, I checked out. I went back down. I talked to them a little bit. I might have gambled a little bit on something. But then we had all decided we're going to go to Caesars to see out the rest of the trip before we leave. So I drove up to Caesars. They were still playing something or other. So I got there and I was hungry and wanted to check out, what else was going on. So I walked up the boardwalk before they arrived, went to Resorts, got a breakfast sandwich and a tea from Dunkin' Donuts in Resorts, took the pictures that I sent you of what had happened there, walked back down the boardwalk when I heard that they were coming back, and just played in Caesars for a couple hours. I played a bunch more tiles and quite a bit of Jack's Better. They were doing other things. I don't know exactly what they were doing. And I ended up leaving at about 3:30, 4 o'clock to head home because Dave said he would take Taylor back. So it was just me driving home, and we ended up getting home at like 7:30. There was no traffic again on the way back. So
Good trip.
good trip, all in all. Yeah. I was, ended up being down a couple $100. So wasn't bad at all. I think I was probably, it's yet another trip that I was probably about even on table games and lost all the money I put into video poker and slot machines. So
Yeah, so I noticed after my last trip that I've had, I think, 11 straight down Atlantic City trips. Very much coinciding with becoming almost entirely a machine
slot player. Yeah.
But none of them have been, like, catastrophically awful.
Yeah, this trip was like totally fine for me. I think it was down like $300 or $400 or something. So
Did anyone play Wonder Woman in my honor? I have to know, because I know that there are many Wonder Woman
I
machines.
certainly did not play Wonder Woman. I can't. And Taylor, I don't think, plays any machines at all ever. So it would be up to Dave. You'll have to ask him.
No, he said that he went and they were full every time, but I don't think he knows about the other 4 Wonder Woman machines that are out and about throughout the casino. 3
yeah, hard to believe, but maybe.
Relevant for our bets that we've talked about is that you have over under 3 gambling destination trips with 3 or more people in 2023.
Mm-hmm. Does that make it the over?
No, this makes it 3. So we have
so it's a push.
Vegas in April,
AC
in August with me, you, Zach, and Zach's boyfriend.
Zach and Dave. Yeah, Dave was there too.
Oh yeah, Dave too.
Don't erase Dave.
I've retconned Dave, and then AC in November with you, Dave, and Taylor this trip. So if we get a third person, if this December trip does happen and we get a third person, then you win $5.
I would say that there's like a 2% chance that a third person comes with us.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking like December 22nd, right before Christmas, so it's going to be tough. One other note that I'll make about your trip, because apparently I have more notes about your post-trip
probably
thoughts
true
than you do. I've been waiting for my turn to talk for so long, and now it's my chance.
I know, and it's how it always is for you, though.
I know I said last trip that we did together that I really liked the casino early in the morning.
Yeah.
How chill it is and just getting up. And that I want to go to bed at a reasonable time. And I think if this next trip happens, I want
I don't
to
believe
hold
you.
to that.
I don't believe you.
And go to bed at midnight or 12:30. Wake up at, I don't know, whenever I wake up, which will probably be 7:30 because that's when I normally wake up. Go down. We can gamble a little bit. Go get breakfast at a time that's more reasonable to you. and then go check out and stuff. So I think I'm going to try to do that, but we'll see if that actually happens. But I think my plan for the timing would be that I would get there, when I normally do lunchtime, and then need to leave the next day around lunchtime. Mm-hmm. So then, it makes even more sense, I feel like, to wake up earlier and get some time on that Friday.
All right.
So we'll see. We'll see if I can hold to that.
Sounds good. I'll be good for going to bed at 11, so it won't be me keeping you up late, I don't think.
I'm sure I won't be going to bed at 11.
Right.
But yeah, the idea
surely will not be up as early as me either. But,
No.
I mean, again, my normal wake-up time is 5:30, so.
Any other thoughts on your trip?
It was a great trip. Happy we got it in. Had a great time. It reinforced that, I think Osu is really very good. Gilchrist also very good. Trop is growing on me a little bit. I think in general it's still not the world's greatest casino, to put it mildly, but it has a lot of the stuff I want. When I actually wanted to do stuff in a nice casino, you can walk up to Caesars. I do it guilt-free because I tell myself that surely it's the same company. They don't care about me opening trips in 2 properties, but
who knows
if that's true or not.
I think there's some truth to it, but another trip where you have multiple people, as we said, does that make a big difference?
Yeah, no, it's nice.
Even if it was just you and Taylor, would that be a very different trip then?
3 is better always, I think. Me and Taylor, I think what we want to do at the casino overlaps maybe a little bit more than me and you. But no, I think having 3 is just in general good.
Yeah, I think that's a good number.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody like minds playing on their own for a little bit, but it's nice to always like have the option to like, oh, hey, you want to go do this thing?
Yeah.
To me, especially like table games for me, like I don't ever want to play a table game without a friend to play the table game with.
Right. Or you could have just actually removed the second part of that sentence, but go ahead.
True. That's factual. All right. Anything else about the trip?
No, it was a great trip. Super happy that we did it. And, look forward to maybe doing another trip in maybe 3-4 weeks.
Hopefully.
Are
we blasting through the questions in the mailbag?
Yeah, what's our time? Oh, yeah, I think we're good. We've made Refrigerator P wait for long enough. Let's blast through it.
From Refrigerator P on Twitter. And then I think we're out of mailbag questions, unbelievably.
Ooh, need to get some more in.
So everybody send questions in.
Send questions.
Rapid fire style, because it's a lot of questions.
Sure.
First of all, why was there no Irish pub in Stay this summer?
We've got to do it. I think at some point we need to do it. I don't know. Who do you think is more likely to do it between me and you?
Me, probably because of summer stay where I don't get a comped room.
Yeah. In some sense, like, maybe I'm slightly more willing to do it, or I'd be giving up less, but, like, I also always have comps, so it's just pretty unlikely. So I agree with that. I think it's probably more likely you. I think we need to do it.
Yeah, for a one-night trip in the summer, I mean, it's only open in the summer for one thing, where I'm probably just getting up, not even bothering to shower or anything, and then going home or something like that. I'm sure it would be fine.
Yeah.
So he has some questions about status.
Mm-hmm.
What status levels are both of you at all the AC casinos, and do you get any benefits from the level?
I think the only benefit that's really worthwhile now, okay, not the only one, there are some, but yeah, I'm diamond with Caesars, I'm gold with MGM, though I think my diamond could go away any year as soon as Caesars decides not to match me, but they, to this point, have continued matching me. So we'll see if they do it again this year or not.
And base everywhere else, right?
And on base everywhere else, yes. The only real benefit is getting resorts fees waived for diamond and for gold. So that's a huge deal. It's, $40 a night, let's say. Yeah, it saves me probably for the number of trips I do, $200 this year or something. So
yeah. Well, you get the Diamond Celebration Dinner.
And we got the Diamond Celebration Dinner, which we used last time when it was me, you, Zach, Dave, and Jeffrey. So that's another $100 of benefits. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't really believe that your comps are better if you're like a certain level or anything like that. I think that's based totally on your play.
Agreed.
But getting resorts fees waived, I think, is the biggest reason to want to get status for the properties that do waive resort fees for status.
Yeah, we don't ever really do the lounges.
No.
So,
never.
You do need gold status to get to the lounge at Borgata. You need diamond status to get into the lounges at Caesars. And
we probably should. Maybe we should try to do Amphora if we stay at
We should definitely do Amphora if we stay at Borgata.
We should.
So I'm gold at MGM, so Borgata, and I'm base everywhere else. I lost my diamond status. This year they wouldn't match me back. I should, if we go in December, match to Rock Royalty at Hard Rock before I lose my MGM gold status.
Yeah, so MGM, you say you think it expires at the end of January or the end of February?
Yeah.
Hopefully my Caesars gets re-upped, and then I can try to match to Caesars. That would be good.
To MGM.
To MGM, yeah. Because they have pretty frequent status matches at MGM, too, I believe.
Follow-up question. Are you chasing any status level through play or match this year?
No. I mean, I did it once, and I've talked about it on the podcast, where I did Diamond in a day, intentionally. I went in with the plan to do it if everything kind of went well in terms of the variance. I ended up spending about the amount of money that you would expect to spend on it back when it was easier to do. Now that machine that I did it on does not even give any tier credits at all, so that's went away. But I did get Diamond in a day at the $2 machine in the high limit room in Caesars probably 8 years ago or something.
Yeah.
9 years ago. I don't know, it was a while ago.
Yeah, I've never chased any status through play.
You had Founders 1 year, right?
No, I never got
Travel's
Founders.
Orc?
No.
I thought you were...
Travel's Orc just gave me... They just upgraded me to Diamond.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
but you not through Founders. It was just like you just did it.
Yeah, he was able to finagle some upgrades.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Michael Traeger. And then, so I've never chased it through play. As I just said, I want to match to Rock Royalty from MGM Gold. I've looked back a few times and, like, with daily bonuses, I probably could have pretty easily gotten to Caesars Platinum in a year if I just like played a little more a couple of days to get the bonus. But like Platinum doesn't really get you anything.
It gives you nothing. Yeah.
Well, so one thing that Platinum does get you is the the bar at Tropicana 10 North Lounge comps if you're Platinum or over. They won't comp you, at least on weekends, if you're Gold.
I will say, like, something else your status gets you at Caesars casinos is when you order drinks off of the drink menu,
Yes.
you have much better options
Correct.
if you're Diamond. Or possibly Platinum, too.
Possibly Platinum, too.
Yeah.
But if you just want Platinum, just sign up for the credit card. Caesars credit card automatically
Right.
upgrades you to Platinum. You don't need to actually play your way to Caesars Platinum. So I know our friend Andy has the Caesars credit card, funnily enough.
Yeah.
But have you been to any VIP lounges this year? Resorts VIP lounge is underrated. Have either of you been to it? We've never had status at Resorts, right?
No. So I think I've sent you messages. Resorts always tells me that if I come, they'll let me into their lounge at like some specific time, even though I don't have the status. But I think I'm like on their radar as a player they're like marginally interested in, and letting someone into the lounge once is like not a big expenditure for them.
Not at all.
Oh, by the way, I got the weirdest emails I've been getting is apparently Maryland Live wants me to come back and play, and they've been giving me a bunch of money and like say I can stay in their hotel if I want.
Oh,
which is like
you should do it.
Cool, right? I should do it sometime.
It's like 12 minutes from your house, but you should do it anyway.
It's super close, but yeah, maybe I'll need to stay in the Live hotel and do a report on it at some point. Yeah. Anyway, VIP lounges. No, I have not been to. I can't tell you the last time I went to a VIP lounge in a casino.
I went to the Borgata Lounge Amphora sometime in like 2022, but I haven't been to any this year.
I don't think I've been to any in 5 years, probably. I don't know. Eating like food that I consider like sort of medium at a buffet, it's just not like a big draw for me personally. I know like a lot of people like love these lounges or whatever, but like I've never been someone that it's never been a big draw. And like obviously I have access to these lounges. I have like infinite rewards points for both of these. Like I can get in no problem, and I haven't. So
my big reason for not going to the lounges is because the limited meals that I have in Atlantic City, I want to try new things.
Yeah.
Amphora is legitimately very good food and very good cocktails. I will say that.
Have I ever been with you?
Yeah.
I've either been 0 or 1 times.
Yeah, we went once. I think it was like during a Ravens game.
Uh-huh.
It was like middle of the afternoon, so we didn't eat very much.
Something smelled funny when we were in there,
It
right?
did, you're right.
That's what I remember. Amphora Lounge smells funny.
That was not my experience the other times I've been. It's very nice in there. I don't begrudge anybody who like absolutely swears by it for $12.50 in comp dollars, but for me,
Yeah.
It's not going to be interesting if we come on the podcast every single episode and we're like, we went to Amphora twice.
Yeah. No, I think just me and you have been like once or twice. Back when we used to meet up with Eric, like I think spent a lot more time in lounges because I think he liked that a lot.
And he could get us into lounges that we couldn't get into.
Right, like 7 Stars Lounge and stuff. But even the Diamond Lounge, I know I went with him a few times. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a huge draw for me personally, but I understand that some people love it, and that's a big reason for them to want to reach these I guess now like Diamond Elite levels with Caesars or whatever, or just normal Gold with MGM.
Yeah, there was a time where I had gotten all the statuses fairly recently through TravelZork, and I was going, like my wife liked the lounges, so I went to, I think, Caesars, Hard Rock, Amphora with her.
I've never been to Hard Rock. I've never been to Ocean.
Hard Rock's is nice. I like it.
Mm-hmm. I've never been to Resorts. I've never been to Trop. I've never been to Harrah's. Yeah, so just Bally's, Caesars, Borg once with you, I guess. And Bally's was also once the first time I got Diamond, and they were like, "You're not Diamond," and I'm like, "Yes, I am."
Oh yeah, that's great. Credit card, just answered this, but do either of you have MGM or Caesars credit cards? Why or why not?
For me, it would give me no value. So
yeah, I know that there's a bunch of ways to like spend your way up to status on MGM with the credit card, but
no, that's just not what I'm interested in. For me, like, my family of 4 is flying business class to Singapore and back in a couple months. And like, that's, if I'm going to put a bunch of spend into getting miles, I don't care about getting into lounges or whatever. Like, I'd rather do something like that.
Right. I mean, I've thought about it because the idea is nice, right? Like, oh, I'm going to get MGM Gold status by spending money. But the number of nights that I actually stay in an MGM hotel in a year, like the value for the credit card is just non-existent for me. Like, I'm going to get $120 for all this spend of resort credits because I stayed in MGM hotels for 3 nights for this year. Like, that just doesn't really make any sense. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there are obviously other ways, like what you're giving up by using your spend, or at least for me, what I'm giving up by using my spend on that doesn't really make any sense. But yeah, I mean, for other people, obviously, if you're going more often, I do think, like, if I went to Vegas every year for, like, 4 or 5 nights, it's probably worth it. But I don't go to Vegas every year, so.
Right.
Comp dollars. Do you use all your reward credits every trip, or do you let your comp balances build?
So I'm someone that has had a pretty big Caesars comp balance for a while, so I haven't been using them every trip, but I did use mostly all of, like, there's maybe some things happening in the background, but I used all of the comp dollars that were in my Caesars account this time, which was like $90-some towards the Osu meal, and I was back up to another like $60 or whatever when I left.
Wow.
So yeah, I ended up using them all, certainly at like casinos that, you know I'm not likely to be back in 6 months, and hence will lose them. Like I try to do that as much as I can, though there's certainly been plenty of times that I've had $20 or $30 at, Ocean or whatever, and it's just expired, and then I've been sad.
Yeah, I've lost $20-some at
Ocean and Hard Rock.
Hard Rock multiple times. Ocean probably once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that sucks. So in those cases, like, definitely try to remember to use them, and I'm really bad about remembering to use them. Caesars, I wiped them all out a few years ago, and then I didn't spend much time at Caesars, but I do like to let it build for some reason. I don't know why.
So annoyingly this time, if you remember when we talked about it when I stayed in Hard Rock, and I like tried to use my reward credits or my comps on the resort fee or whatever when I checked out, and like the person at the desk was like very confused, and then they just said okay, and then I like looked at my email receipt or whatever when I got home, and that was definitely not done. So
they just said okay, as in okay, go away from the desk.
Right, pretty much. So I'm sure that I will have some expiring comp dollars soon enough at Hard Rock again.
Yeah. What's the best use of Caesar's reward credits, and why is it definitely Chickies and Pete's and Wild Honey at the Trop? You can take out the Wild Honey part, but Chickies and Pete's for sure.
I mean, for me, I will say that I've used $100 Diamond Celebration dinner at Osu and just used like $90 of comp dollars. This trip also at Osu, so
1-to-1 comps.
I've thought that was very good. 1-to-1. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am on record as saying Chickie and Pete's is bad, and if that were an option in the bad chain restaurant, it would go into the Ocean for me.
Goodness. It's so much a step above all of the other 3 that we listed.
I mean, come on, Hooters is just much better. Let's be honest with ourselves. Wild Honey, it was noted that I had like some $15 off coupon in my room key envelope that they give you your room keys in.
They have donut of the day there. You could have gotten a donut while you were waiting for everybody.
No, it was like eat in only 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. or whatever. So like, but so I walked by and I'm like, I don't know what a Wild Honey is. I've never been there. And I walked by and like, this is something that like took more cycles than I'd like to admit on the trip. Like I walked by it because it's like you walk by it if you're leaving the Havana Tower and don't go down the stairs immediately. And I'm like, I've been here. Like, I know I've been here.
Yes, you have.
And I'm like, I don't know if I've been here. And then like the third time I walked by, I'm like, oh my God, this was the Irish restaurant and they've changed nothing about it.
It was the Rira, which was closed for a very
I have
long
been
time.
here. But, like, it looks exactly the same inside. And that's why I was like, I've been here every time I walk by it.
I used comp dollars 1-to-1 my last trip with my wife, not with the kids, at Hash House A Go-Go. And that was a good use, if only because I think Hash House A Go-Go is pretty expensive for breakfast. And I thought it was excellent. Like, I thought the food was really good. But I'd probably only do it again with a big comp use to make it more reasonable.
Is Gilchrist 1-to-1?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Probably.
I would guess, yeah.
I think anything like that. I mean, Gilchrist is extremely cheap, so I'd say that's like a great use of that. It's not like inflated prices at all, I don't think.
Other stuff. Last few questions. Must-do list for next trip. We talked about King's Pub.
We already talked about it. We have to go to Hooters.
Yeah.
And get some McFlurries.
Hooters, McFlurries, King's Pub.
King's Pub, yeah.
We had mentioned a dive bar. I can't even remember which one. B&B Saloon or something.
Yeah.
Which I drove by last trip, and I was like, oh, that's where this is. But we're going to forget all about that, I'm sure.
Yep. Anything
else on your must-do list for next trip?
Tiles.
Wonder Woman slots?
Get slaughtered in tiles, like always.
On my must-do list is going to bed at a reasonable time and waking up early to spend time in the casino in the morning. I expect Borgata would be especially great at like 7:30 in the morning.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I would think it'd be just awesome. I would love to do the MGM Tower as for next trip.
Would you see the Hook again?
So the answer for you was obviously yes, given that you did see it again.
Yep.
Would you see it a third time?
I would.
With me?
I would.
Okay.
Also, news came out, Opium at Cosmo in Vegas is closing. So they're opening
Never even heard of such a thing.
Disco Show at the Link and closing Opium, but the Super Frico and the Ski Lodge at Cosmo apparently staying open. Last question, least favorite things about Atlantic City right now. Downer. Ended on a downer.
Yeah, let's end this podcast. I have to say, for me, and this definitely could just be like me becoming older, which is unfortunately a thing that happens every time we talk. I am a little bit older. I feel like the boardwalk is not as nice as it was, and like it's like a little bit more menace on the boardwalk than there used to be.
Yeah,
like, 5 or 10 years ago. It's not necessarily a great place to be, and like, I know I've said it on the podcast, like I'd much rather be walking down like Arctic Ave than like walking down the boardwalk at like some, 10 p.m. at night or whatever, like just super honestly. And like that is not how it used to be at all. And like I think that it's like if I feel that way, I think it's like a pretty serious problem, and like other people will just not do it. And I think that needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah, last trip when I went with my family, obviously I was going from Hard Rock to Showboat, which is really short, but it was the first time I think I've ever been in AC late at night. I mean, it was 2 a.m, where I was like, I don't really want to do this boardwalk walk right now.
Yeah.
But it was very short. But yeah, there's just a little bit of that. And I don't know how much of it is like perception versus reality. Because I remember like people used to say that, like, oh, it's
right. People would say that like 8 years ago, and I'm like, you people are all ridiculous or whatever.
Right.
That's not what Atlantic City is. Like
solo walk down the boardwalk at 2:30 in the morning
right.
and not worry about it at all.
I did it all the time. Right. No, I think it's reached a point, and like it's probably especially bad in the off season. Like in the summertime, it would be totally fine because there's just a ton of people out there still. But yeah, there's a certain level of menace, I think, on the boardwalk specifically that like they need to fix.
Yeah,
I mean, nothing bad has ever happened to me, so maybe I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. But making the boardwalk a little bit more of a pleasant place to walk down at any time of day would be a good step. I mean, it's still great at 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. or whatever.
Other least favorite things? Anything else?
I don't like that in the wintertime, like half the casino restaurants are closed, but
yeah, I was just going to say that.
Or like half of everything is closed, honestly.
Yes. Seasonality of everything is annoying. The general like badness of the video poker bars is kind of frustrating. Like I feel like just everything's getting downgraded in that respect, and I like playing at video poker bars, but And
for me, like I think the video poker is still like, if you're willing to play dollars, like it's still 8.5 everywhere pretty much, as far as I can tell.
It's not hard to find 8.5 quarter.
Yeah. With the quote-unquote full comps or whatever.
Yep.
It's not like terrible horseshoe in Baltimore.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the questions. We need more questions.
Thank you so much, Refrigerator P. Sorry that we kept you waiting so long. And yeah, as Craig said, send in your questions. All right. So anyway, if you want to reach out to us or any of our other listeners, do so at our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/DoForAWin. Find all of our great content at doforwin.com. Reach out to Craig on Twitter at DoForWin or me at Kyle Laskin, and send Craig questions to doforwin@gmail.com so we can answer them on air. I'm sure that you've got stuff in the mailbox that you need to resolve, but
it's mostly about the resort fees changing.
That's good. Thanks for sending those in, by the way.
Yes, agreed.
I don't know. Any last words?
No. It's been a long
Nothing.
episode.
Yeah, it has been a long episode. It's probably going to be...
even longer than last episode?
Yeah, maybe. It's because I talk too much.
I know. It's just always a frequent problem.
All right. Well, thank you guys so very much for everything. And we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks and hopefully have some news about an upcoming trip.
So I think what I do, if it works out, is take that Thursday off, the 21st, and just go right after kid drop-off and get there at, like, I don't know, noon or 1.
Okay.
So then the next day, my kids have a half day.
Yeah, my kids are in school the full day that day, so that'll be fine.
Which they can do aftercare, I think. But, like, it's a dick move the day before Christmas vacation to, like, leave them in aftercare for 5 hours.